Hey members, how's it going? Kind of want to touch base and talk about a couple things that everybody's going to see this week as they come out as the full golf course opens up Saturday. So came to this tee on 18 specifically because, as you can tell, it's pretty discolored. As we come out of our winter dormancy, obviously Wisconsin's pretty cold, so we get a little bit of cold weather. So what we're seeing specifically on this tee is winter scalding and or desiccation. So the rhyme and reason on why this happens is because we're on a perched up area that receives more wind throughout the winter and less protection. So as wind whips through this tee box over the winter, it starts to have a little bit of decay. And this tee box is essentially built primarily on sand. So as wind whips through here, the wind wreaks havoc on this grass and it causes it to go extremely dormant. So something we'll work on next year is top dressing the tees in the winter and putting a protection on top of tees. So hopefully we don't wake up kind of looking like this. We have some really new growth right here. So we're coming back to life right here as we're starting to see some of that stuff, starting to get a little life pop back into these things. So all these little juvenile green grass blades are starting to wake back up. But they're stunted again because it's not protected. Last season, Reliable had initiated the first sequence of a 3-year program of a POA Cure program. So the greens here at Bishop's Bay are predominantly bent grass, and we're in a really good position to apply the POA Cure program. And so this is one of our worst greens, so kind of wanted to come out and take a look at it. So when everybody comes out, we're educated on what we're seeing out there. And what we're seeing right now are the residual effects, and I might add positive effects, of POA reduction. So as we come out in the spring, the bent grass starts to wake up a little bit sooner, and the POA is really dinged up from last fall. So as you kind of look at the screen specifically, you can really tell these white patches are POA decline. So a lot of it will bounce back. So year 1 is kind of the initiation, but year 2 and 3 we start to get a lot more cleansing. As we come out here and see this and you get down and look at the turf, our goal is to apply a POA Cure application when we're not too far gone. So this is a really good situation. This green specifically is a little bit more far gone than the other ones, but it just shows that that program is starting to really kickstart. And so I think we'll start to gain some good ground this year. But again, I want to add that it's a 3-year program. This year we'll continue on year 2 and then next year, year 3. And ideally we start to have a little bit more cleansed soil and get to a homogeneous stance of turf out on the golf course and have just bent grass out here. When we look down on these POA patches, we're starting to see a little bit of green come back in here. So what that is some stoloniferous bent grass creeping into these POA spots. So we're again at a really good time because there's a lot of grass around it that's desirable that we want. And so our goal is to not have to go seed all these things, but allow this bent grass that is in these POA spots to outcompete the POA. So the bent grass wakes up a little bit earlier, and right around aerification time, we'll juice these things up and really kickstart these things and try to tremendously outcompete that POA.